Hey there, it's Bernardo, and you're watching VSCode with me. And today we're going to be taking a look at another VS Code extension, also a Jetbrains extension, and also they just released a CLI. So the tool we're going to be taking a look is Augment Code. So Augment Code has been around for a while, and they just announced the CLI, which they call Augie CLI. Let me see if they have here. Yeah. So yeah, they have Augie CLI, which is the name of their CLI, and we're going to be taking a look at both their VS Code extension and the CLI. I'm not sure how ready the CLI is, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see which one is fun to use and which one is not. They do operate on a model similar to Cursor and other ones that they have their own pricing, like CodeGen. We also see that. So it's not like a bring your own key kind of thing. They might support bring your own key, maybe. I'm not sure. Yeah, let's go to docs. Key. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, not immediately. It doesn't seem that they support that. So I think they're more like Cursor and something else. But they do have a free trial. Yeah, so there's a free trial. Where is the free trial? Yeah, I think the free trial includes 30,000 credits. I don't remember where I saw that. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so the free trial, let me make this bigger so you can easily see. So yeah, new users get a free trial. So they just need to add a valid payment method and you get 30,000 credits. Again, I have no idea how much credit is worth, but I think I'm going to be able to do everything for this video with this one thing because they do have this plan, $20. So I expect themselves to be priced around what Cursor offers. So the $20 a month should be enough for most cases, like similar to Claude plans. So yeah, I'm not sure. Again, this credit thing, there's no universal, credit system. So yeah, so I'm gonna be taking a look at their free trial, which means yeah, we can likely do the whole video without me paying anything. And yeah, there's what is a credit. So a credit is the unit we use to measure Augment Code, for example. Okay, yeah, again, they don't explain what is a credit. We're gonna have to take a look and then you'll see in the end of this video how many credits we used for this 2-3 hour-ish coding session. So yeah, we're gonna see it. All right, so we can jump ahead and install it. So to install, I'm gonna go back to the so you have the docs for VS Code, and I guess this is just, you can open VS Code. Let's just open it directly here. Likely gonna open the marketplace. So yeah, you could just search there. So that's how we're gonna install the VS Code extension. Yes, trust publisher and install. This is the CodeGen project. I'm going to disable this extension by going, the CodeGen one, just so we focus on disable, and I'm gonna restart extensions. All right, so we do have Augment Code here. I'm gonna have to sign in. We're gonna do that in a second. And for the CLI, let me just hide this. For the CLI, you just do npm install. Again, I'm a weirdo. Oh, yeah, sorry, again, I'm a weirdo. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna install with Mies, and the Mies use sg npm. That's not what I want. Copy this, paste it here. Oh, I just want this part here. So I'm gonna do that. They're gonna give me the last version. I'm gonna pin to that. So I'm gonna do 0.7.0. Now I don't have that installed, so I can do Augie help. Okay, so we do have Augie here. Yeah, I think I can get the session out here, but I likely can just log in. Yeah, I can log in. So okay, so this is how it install. We're now gonna see how we can set it up and the first impressions, and gonna log in. I'm gonna do a little bit of both in the beginning, and then in the end, I'm not sure if I'm gonna use the VS Code or if I'm gonna use through the terminal. I'm gonna see if there's any big differences between each one of the options. Now I'm going to be taking a look at their JetBrains option. I'm going to do a video on JetBrains options another moment. So yeah, let's go to logging in and creating an account. So to create an account, I'm going to just come here to sign in. And how we do continue with GitHub. Yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. Likely gonna have to cut it because likely gonna show my email. Right, authorize Augment Code. Okay, so I need to add a payment method. And yes, I'm gonna click add payment method. Yeah, so that setup payment method went straight to the Stripe thing, the one that uses your email and then makes it easy. You just select if you already used that in other places, you just select the credit card that you already used. So that was easy. So yeah, I already have those things. Oh, they have a plugin for NeoVim. Interesting. Okay. Interesting. I'm gonna have to take a look at that as well. I will do. I've been thinking about that. I think I would do a video only about NeoVim. The main reason I'm not going to include in this series, I mean, at least not right now, I'm not going to do that before my overall video, is that I honestly don't think that, I mean, I'm a huge Vim user, but I don't think anyone would go to Vim because of the AI features. So that video is going to be more like, hey, if you already use Vim, these are some of the tools you can use to do, to do agentic coding. Yeah, so I'm gonna leave that for another video. Good to know that you do have that. So that's interesting. All right, so now that I have my account, I will log in into the VSCode extension and click sign in. Oh, even though I'm already logged in, it shows that again. Okay. All right. Okay, let's index this thing, see how that goes. All right, that's the interface. Let's see what we have here. Okay, so it starts already with this thing, provide a short summary. Okay. Interesting. Okay, let's see what we have about, let's see what models we do have here. If we can configure the models that you use. Can we configure anything here? Okay, agent mode. Okay, so I have an agent mode. All right, there's a few tabs. Okay, the interface is interesting. We can see, okay, the tasks. Yeah, this is just an interface for the task list. A lot of the other editors do have that. Okay, so yeah, in the agent mode, we can select the model, and we can use Sonnet 4.5 and 4. I mean, I don't know why you would use the 4 if you have 4.5, unless there's a pricing difference. Yeah, Haiku can be an interesting thing. I think it's a little bit faster. GPT-5. Okay, so that's the models that they have. They're really likely going to be using Sonnet 4.5. Been using for a lot of the other things. Oh, what is this thing? Okay, so when you are in the agent mode, you can kind of like toggle the same. How do we go back to? Oh, okay. Yeah, so I guess that's the thing. Like, this chat doesn't do any code generation. Remote agent. What is remote agent? Oh, it just froze. Oh, really? Yeah, the thing is just frozen now. Okay. Reload window. Let's try it again. Oh. Okay. I have to debug that. 1 second. Okay, I just restarted VS Code. something was weird. Let's try that again. Let's see this remote. This remote agent just freezes. Yeah, not great. But I imagine this is some sort of like background agent, or like it just spin like a external agent. Remote agents. Let's see. Remote agents. Okay, so remote agent. Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is what happened. Windows not responding, reopen. Yeah, so we're not going to be testing that. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to quit. Yeah, that's really buggy. Code, let's open it again and see if now it is. Okay, we're back. But yeah, okay, so ads, we can add context. Let's just take a look at it. Yeah, so this thing, I guess, connects to a remote machine, right? Remote agents functionality dedicated to IDE-bound agents as you work through your tests and projects. Because they run asynchronously in the cloud, you can access and manage them while working on other projects on your editor. Yeah, I think it's similar to cursor background agents, I guess. I want to do a video only about background agents. Yeah. Yeah, okay. I guess the cool thing is that you can, work on multiple tests on the same repository. It's doable locally if you use Git work trees, for example, but it does require extra effort, especially if you have Docker containers that you need to spin up, and then now you need to think about the ports allocated. Maybe if you use dev containers or something like that, you can work out with that. But yeah, we're not going to be testing that, but that's cool that everybody's doing that now. So let's see how you pass context. So you can pass files. Okay, you can. Okay, how do I go back? If I just, yeah, okay. Navigation a little bit weird because once you click that, but yeah. Okay, folders, recently opened files. Okay, yeah, never mind. You can just do this and up. Okay, yeah. Okay, so that's cool. Cursor, I think, had that as well. So you can pass. So for example, you can pass Prisma. Oh, you cannot. I cannot pass Prisma. Okay, what do you have in documentation? Oh, really? That's all the documentation you have? No way. Yeah, they clearly, okay. Next.js. Yeah, they do have documentation. Yeah, so they do have a few things. I'm not sure. Maybe you can customize the docs that I have. So this is cool. They have it indexed. Yeah, you have rules by default. The agent, I think, seems to. Yeah, the agent's file seems to be automatically detected. Not sure if it is automatically included in all the things. But yeah, I think that's pretty much all, actually. Okay, so that's on the chat. Maybe we have different things here. Okay, what is this auto? I guess this auto is probably auto accept stuff. But yeah, as we saw, we can select the model here. They have 4 options of models. What are these things? Rules and guidelines. Okay. Yeah, so agents MD seems to be always included. I'm gonna take a look at the docs to learn more. Okay, I can create a new rule file. Yeah, just mark down files, I guess, and then let me do my rule. Okay, so it lives in this .augment.rules, pretty similar to cursor rules. Yes, let's delete this. Let's see if it was deleted here. Augment, yeah, I'm just gonna delete this. What is the difference between these user guidelines and just a thing that goes? Yeah, learn more maybe. Okay. So user guidelines are local things. They don't live in the project. So this is I don't know, I prefer to do this first. I prefer to write tests first or whatever, maybe things that you want to enforce yourself, different from the things that, the team wants to enforce globally, right? So that's cool. All right. So we have context. Okay, we can have multiple source folders. All right, tools. Okay, we can import from JSON. That's going to be cool when we set up the project. Yeah, I'm going to take a look at where that is. Let's just try to add like context 7. Does this added anything here? Or this is like a global thing? And that at least that was cool. Okay. Yeah, but right, this was quite cool. Like I'm not using in this project because I want to be fair, and then there's some I didn't use in the beginning context 7. But honestly, yeah, just come here and enable context 7. It's gonna save you a lot of time. Okay. There's secret manager. I'm afraid to click here. Let me see it first. Okay, so this is just something to start a secret. I'm not sure why you would use that. Oh, okay. This is likely for like if you integrate with MCP servers, maybe you want to add the tokens here. Like if I go back to the content to tools, maybe I can add, for example, let's see if they have. I don't have anything. Yeah, like if I want to add like GitHub, maybe this is gonna start in the secret manager. Yeah, there's not a lot of things here though. Okay, I think we should start doing a few tests here. I need, yeah. All right, so I think what I should do is ask it to, of course, first give me a summary of the. Yeah, just give me a summary of the. What is this project about? Write me a list of 5 things I should consider doing next here. Just an open question. I'm not gonna send any of these specific things. Yes, this is the project, I guess. Yeah, I just want to see how is the experience. What do we have here? Okay, we can add stuff. Likely, maybe we can add an image. Yeah. I guess we can also take a screenshot and just do, yeah, we can do that. Right? That's nice. We can send images. Okay, I want to see what is that. So this runs an agent to, like, it runs the model to improve the prompt. That's interesting. Like, it gives me like thinking, if AI can do that, why do we always need to? Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, okay. Uh, Concise summary of the project's purpose, main functionality, and technology stack, an overview of the current state of the project, a prioritized list of 5 specific next steps. Okay. All right, let's send it, see how that goes. I want to see the tasks. Okay, so I can add the tasks manually, or they can add tasks. I don't know if they're going to do this. Okay. So this requires, so reading automatically approved. I need to approve this. Let me just do Docker composer-d. Oh, I need to do code. A second, I need to start my Docker. My Docker VM. All right. Now I can do Docker composer-d, and I can do. Yeah, I think this will be enough to run. I don't know why it doesn't use tasks, but that's interesting. Okay, gonna see how that goes. Yeah, it's just prompting. It's just showing things here instead of writing a file about it. So they say they also have inline text completion. Yeah, so I think this. Yeah, they're generating this. Okay, so this is cool because I think one of the underrated things that you get on Cursor is inline completion. And yeah, I don't have Copilot enabled, so this is probably coming from. Yeah, this is probably coming from Augment Code. So that's cool. Okay, can I? All right. So I have threads. I can create a new thing here. Update my dependencies. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. I think honestly we're gonna get better value by just going and do the project already. Let's take a look at their CLI first, and also I want to see if I can load the threads from this into the CLI. So I'm gonna take a look at the CLI first. All right. So I'm gonna copy path. I'm just gonna do cd. That's not what I wanted. Okay. I'll copy this, cd this, and I'm gonna do Augie. All right, so let's log in with Augie. I imagine it's gonna be pretty similar. Yes, I'm gonna do continue with GitHub. Okay, I need to copy this, paste my login code here. All right, continue. In a moment, it will be prompted to allow Augment to index for code base. I mean, already indexed in the other in this project, but in VS Code. Commands run automatically. The agent run commands automatically, including shell commands and MCP servers. Recommend using source control. Okay, so it seems like they don't have the fine-grained controls or approval flows, I guess. Okay. I want to see how that goes. The image is in the terminal. New line, okay. Yeah, so this is always a problem. They say either control or shift return, but control J should work in any terminal. Okay. Prompt enhancer, they support that as well. Ask mode, just do, okay, if I do a hash, custom commands, task manager, okay. Yeah, I'm gonna enable indexing. Yeah, so I think I'm not sure if the index is shared or not, but yeah. All right, so let's see what we have here. Account, GitHub workflow. MCP, okay. We're gonna see the more of that when we set up the project. permissions, add a rule. Okay, so this is that's interesting. This seems to be rules based on this rules based on the MCP, like the tools, manage tool permissions, and I guess the command execution. I'm not sure if that is a tool or not. Okay. Okay, I can add tests manually. Do this. Do that. Okay, let me see what happens if I leave. Yeah, okay, so this was that session. Can I argue resume? Let's see, there's a resume. Okay, manage CLI sessions, maybe that's it. I'll continue, resume. Okay, so continue gets the most recent and resume. Okay, so if I can do argy -r. Oh, I need to save the sessions. Okay. Okay. Who are you? And try to leave after that. Okay. So if I argy -c, I should jump back into that. Okay, not sure how that goes. -r maybe again. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so it says I don't remember which was the tool that was shared. I think I tested GitHub Copilot and the CLI and the CLI and the Visual Studio extension. They shared the sessions. Okay, so yeah, we can resume it. Argy session /help. Let's see what we have here. Okay, I can list the sessions. I can delete sessions. All right. Yeah, I want to see the image thing. You know what I think would be cool? A lot of the times when you're doing image, if we're doing the CLI, a lot of times when I'm doing images, I just want to take a print screen. And it would be cool if there was if I do screenshot and then it would automatically start actual graphical user interface to take the shot and automatically do everything. So everything's in a terminal UI, but when you do /screenshots, then it does all of that. So I don't have to take a screenshot, put it in the right place, and then attach it here, because then I need to load the file. Yeah. I mean, I think if I do this, and I think now, I think I need to come here, and if I click this, I can likely, I don't know, man. I don't use Mac a lot. I mean, I only use the Command Shift Control. Yeah, I don't know. I just do Command Shift Control and 4, and that gives me copies to the clipboard. But yeah, whatever. That's a workflow thing. Oh. Okay, argy -print is the automation. So I think argy -print /help. Okay, I can say list the tests in this project. Or maybe I need to test as an argument. Yeah, so this is cool for like CI automations, maybe. Yeah, so it just run things wildly. Yeah, that makes me uneasy. Okay, the CLI is cool, but I think, yeah, one thing that I haven't tested. Okay, yeah, so you can add files easily here. Service. All right, yeah, the CLI seems good enough. Uh, okay, you can ask us to clear the input. Fix bugs, please. Control P. Let's see. Yeah, that's the enhanced prompt that we saw in the UI. Yeah, this seems like an interesting. I love this thing. I don't know why. I don't even know if that actually makes your code better or not, or if just like. But I like that it can like say like really simple things and ask it to prompt engineer for itself. Like it's weird, but yeah. Uh, yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like this. It's a shame that you cannot share the sessions between like. Yeah, so this is like a completely separate product, although most of the stuff are seems to be shared. So I want to see. So Augment CLI. Let's see the dogs about Augment CLI. Uh, oh, okay. So Augment CLI does support ACP. So that's really cool. Like ACP allow, like, so if you want to use with Z, for example, then you can likely. Okay, so really cool that they support ACP by default. I love to see it. I think Kimi CLI also supports it by default. So that's really cool. Okay, so they do support ACP. Integrations and MCP. I mean, it's kind of like. Can I put like a project level MCP? Yeah, honestly, I've been complaining about it, but I've been thinking about like project MCPs, and most of the use cases that I think for an MCP, especially now with how Claude is introducing things like skills and whatnot, and I keep thinking if it's like if you actually need MCP tools for project specific things, like for example, uh, run Prisma migration commands. I've been using it here just to test things out. But honestly, if the thing can run like PNPM whatever, then maybe it's better to just organize the development tasks for your project with something like your package JSON file or like Mies tasks, or have like a list of like CLI that have enough context, and then say, hey, to know what you can do, just check your PNPM test or whatever. I wonder if this is better. And then in that scenario, maybe MCP should be just for the things like for actual external, authenticated, like for example, context 7, where you want to have your own key and then share, or for, yeah. So maybe MCP should start being more about integrating just with this external stuff. But yeah, I don't know. Food for thought. There's one thing that I like about my MCPs, and that's the LSP integration. Some CLIs, they do provide native LSP integrations. Some of the VSCode extensions, they do have diagnostics being shared. So for example, if I do const user 1234, right? So that should be a diagnostic problem, right? So if we see here, I'm not sure why this is not showing. I can do it better. That's definitely a problem. Okay, so you see, there's this diagnostic. So I wonder, like, if I go here, chat, and see, is there any diagnostics showing problems in my code? Yeah. So again, my argument for MCPs was also because of LSP integrations. And then if those things, if LSP integration becomes like native to these coding agents, then maybe the only reason to use MCP servers is actually these, external stuff. And then in that case, maybe you don't need per project thing. I don't know. I still don't have a formed opinion about it. I wish I could have. Yeah, that's kind of like. But I do wish we could have MCP. Especially for like local MCP. Because then everything's global. But yeah. Yeah, so MCP, this seems to be kind of global. So yeah, I guess I would use that for context 7, maybe the Shed CN UI, MCP server, things like that. But then I would install those things globally. All right, yeah, I digress. I think I will be using, so this is one of the reasons why I think we will have a better experience with the VS Code extension compared to the CLI. I think Open Code and Crush I'm sure, Open Code I'm not. They do integrate and give the agent, the model, context about LSP, so diagnostics and even they can refactor stuff, I guess. So they do support that, and yeah, I wish we could add LSP. Let me see LSP. Yeah. Okay. So let's see the native agent integrations. Okay, so this is the. Now, I'm not sure these native integrations. So one thing that I'm always afraid of, is if I connect GitHub, if I did the MCP, I know I'm gonna have access to a bunch of things. So for example, I have my day-to-day job, and then if I use MCP to the GitHub MCP, now when I'm working on, my private project, because there's the same GitHub account, now it has access to everything, and then I don't know, I just feel uneasy about it. So yeah, okay. What is Glean? I have no idea what is Glean is. Okay, whatever. I'm going to be using the VS Code thing, even though I do like the CLIs. Yeah, the CLI seems good, honestly. I'll give it a try in another moment, but yeah, for now, this is good enough. I liked what I saw here. So let's jump straight into project setup. All right, so as usual, I'm going to create a new repository from the template to start the project. I'm going to call Expensify. I do need to move these Expensify things to its own organization. It became that there's a lot of code. So yeah, I should move this to Expensify, like there's an Expensify org or to Vibe Code with me org, whatever. So Expensify Augment Code. And yeah, create repository. This is going to take a few seconds and we should be able to clone very soon. Right? Gonna do this. Yeah, honestly, just gonna do this. And I'm gonna do this. Sorry, I was pressing command. Okay, enter my password. We're gonna be right back. Right, we're cloning the repository. I'm just gonna do code expensify augment code. All right, I'm gonna make this as big as the trusty others. Let me just, for reference, see how big I make the text. Yeah, this should be good. Yeah, maybe one more. Yeah, I know, this is good. All right, I'm gonna close this one. And I'm gonna see here. I'm gonna index this project. I don't want it to run that prompt again. I hope it doesn't. Okay. Okay, I'm not sure why this is not showing. Yeah. Okay, yeah, it's weird. I think it was indexing, but it didn't show any project progress. Okay, so I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna go to rules and guidelines. Yeah, I think they support the agents MD, right? Yeah, I have a feeling that they support multiple things. Like if I call this Claude.md, I have a feeling that it will automatically include. Yeah, so this is cool. So if your team is using Claude or whatever, I'm gonna call this agent MD. Gonna refresh. Okay, then yeah, these things here, we're not gonna have it. We do have integration with the VSCode thing, so this I'm just gonna delete, and that's my setup. Gonna do Mies trust, Mies install. I mean, I don't even need that, and honestly, yeah, because I was using that for the. I'm just gonna remove the Mies stuff. I'm gonna do npm install. Okay, so with that, we are ready to set up. So that's the project setup. I'm just gonna do the dot git commit sham project setup. Authorize git push. Okay, yeah, we do have things working, and we are ready to get started with the tasks. All right, so as usual, I'm gonna get this prompt here that we've been sending, and I'm going to come here, and I will just open Augment Code and make this a little bit bigger, and yeah, let me remove the mies.toml. I'm gonna pass product here. Okay, product. Yeah, so I like that this, I don't have to, just navigating here is enough. Tasks. Okay, that's great. I wonder if we should do this. Like this is a tool, like, is that unfair? Like, yeah, we will use this. I know, so this is gonna end up with a different prompt. But if you think about like, it's the same effort, right? Like the tool is giving me this ability. So I write the exact same thing and let it do the context thing. Yeah, okay. I will make it even better. So I'm gonna, yeah, okay. I'm just gonna pass the docs PRD as context. And the PRD main. No, that's not what I want. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I don't want to use the task management because the task, if I recall correctly, is per thread. And I want this to be persisted. So yeah, the thread didn't, yeah, the thing didn't make it better. I mean, it made it different. So yeah, I'm just gonna use this and see how that goes. Okay, this is cool. What is this? Oh, so it can consult the index, which is interesting. Okay. Okay, I don't want to do a database schema up front, so I'm gonna stop. Let's not do a database schema up front for all the tasks. Instead, we should focus on individual features, each with its own database migrations. That is, we gradually add more stuff through the schema. Each task should be fully manually testable. This includes DB, backend routers, UI, etc. And also include automated tests for the backend part. Okay, let's see how these edits go. So yeah, but that's a cool thing. Like it didn't pop up anything here. But I do have what edit it had here, and I guess I can discard because I don't like this, right? Okay, so it deleted the file. This was this initial thing. Okay, let's see this. Implement the foundation for multi-tenant organization management. Users will be able to create organizations where organizations belong to. Users who create an organization automatically becomes an admin. There's the invitations. Yeah, everybody breaks it down the same. Okay, it's doing this quite fast, but I do like this review experience. Like I can ignore what the thread like. Yeah, I think this is cool, right? Like I'm not like having to review things here. I can, just look at this thing, see everything, all the changes it made. Then I can eventually just click keep all. Okay, this is cool. Database schema, organization member with proper relationships. You can create an organization with a name. Organization created automatically becomes an admin. User can view this organization they belong to. UI displays organization list and creation form. Backend has comprehensive tests for organization creation and retrieval. Data isolation is enforced. Users only see the organization. That's cool. To dos. Create your PC router. Write comprehensive tests. UI page manual testing. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Completion checklist. Okay, this is cool. User invitations. There's some authorization here. I'm just going to look at the acceptance criteria. Database schema including invitation model. Admin can send invitation by email addresses. Invitation and pending accept. Expired states. User can view their pending invitations. User can accept invitations and become the organization members. Email notifications are sent for invitations using existing node mailer setup. That's going to be hard. Yeah. Only admins can invite users to their organizations. Backend has comprehensive tests. Yeah, well, one thing that I is not sure. Okay. Okay, so it's gonna use the current user email as a way to list invitations. I like that. That's pretty simple. Yeah, expense category. There's a UI polish. Honestly, really good. I wonder if Claude Code, no, sorry, Claude Sonnet is learning from me doing this multiple times. Maybe it is scraping like my video transcripts, and maybe it is getting better. And yeah, I don't think I'm that relevant though. Okay. All right. There's one pending memory. Oh, I like that. So this is a cool thing. So it noticed something that I wanted it to do, and it's creating a memory automatically. I think Cursor does that as well. I think I saw not all of those do that. They require you to go there and manually add these things. Yeah, I like this. Save. Return to agent. Okay, the UI seems pretty cool. One memory created, 7 file change, 7 tools used. That's really cool. I like it. Keep all. Yeah, again, I do think they should add something like commit changes. Like instead of keeping, I just say, hey, create a commit for that. So it would like stage all the changes and create a commit. I think this workflow would be really cool. But I can just come here, stage everything, and do docs. Plan tasks. Authorize. Okay, we're good. Let's go back to the agent and let's start implementing things. Do we have any like compactation of the context? Yeah, I think compactation seems to be, I want to start a new thread actually. So I'm just going to say, I'm going to open task 001 and say, let's do the first task. Yeah, so it automatically includes the context file that I'm looking at. Yeah, I think that's all we need. Let's send it. Yeah, so it seems the writes are automatically approved. They keep track of the changes so you can revert if you need. So I guess the main difference between that and auto is that probably auto will like run commands as well. Okay, it added the tasks. That's cool. It just read this and created this, right? Yeah, kind of like not everything. So now we can see the task interface. So this is the task it's currently doing. Okay, let's review these changes. That's cool. Okay, so I can click here to go to the file, or I can click here to see the diff. That's cool. So yeah, so it added. We're gonna have a problem because here user ID, user is a relationship, and it didn't add it to the user. Oh, it did it. Okay, never mind. Let's go back to the thread. Okay, I know that this will already fail, so I'm gonna save some tokens here, and I'm gonna do cp.example.env. Okay, I'm gonna do Docker PS. Let's just go to the protogen. I'm gonna do Docker compose down. I'm gonna do pop-t. I'm gonna do Docker compose -d to start this, and I'm gonna do So this should work now. Can I change this thing? Yeah, I don't remember which was the tool. Was it Cursor? I don't know. I have to review all my videos now. But it did allow me to edit the command before sending, and I really like that experience. All right, yeah, approve. So it runs in this thing here. Yeah, so one thing, I use fish shell, and the configuration it was using, is using bash. Which is fair. I guess it's gonna make it easier to like know what is the syntax for scripts and whatnot. So yeah, it's fine. I have my shell here, and it has its own shell. Let's go back to the edits. So this is the whole file. So this is just adding that. Okay. And okay. organization name is required. Okay, so let me just forward all, and let's explore. So that's create, list, and get by ID. So list, it takes, yeah. Okay, so it's getting the orgs and including the members. I think this is not efficient though. Like this would be really inefficient because I think this will, yeah. The best thing would be to load the memberships and then, yeah, but then if you want to order by created at, it's gonna be harder. But yeah, I still would prefer because I don't worry. For me, it doesn't matter that much the order of the organizations. What is this? So there's an next added prediction. How do I come here? Command this. Okay. Yeah, so it does support next add suggestion. So yeah, those are the two features that I really think are important. But yeah, okay, whatever. Thread. Yeah, let me see the organization test. It replicated the exact same pattern for testing, which is cool. And it is creating the things. Okay, that's pretty good. Without me asking anything. So I guess this comes the indexing that they do. I'm pretty sure it plays a role. Or maybe they read. Yeah. Okay. First, let me examine the existing test file to understand the testing pattern. So that was a good. Yeah, that was just the model being smart. I thought it was a specific agent thing. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, this will fail. I need to do. I'm gonna say we need to first. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. npm. Okay. Whenever we make changes to the database schema, and in the first time we set up the project, we need to run the npm test reset to sync the test database to the dev database test database schema before running the tests. I want to see if this is going to become a memory. So it cancels that thing automatically. I can run this now. Okay, you can see the result here. All right. Okay, so I know what's going on. Yeah, so this is an interactive terminal and it's waiting for it to finish, which is why I'm just going to press Q here. Let me fix here. I'm going to go to package JSON. That was a mistake that I've done and I have to do that all the time, but it's good because then I test, if the agent is smart enough. So yeah, make sure your commands, they, like by default, they run in a non-interactive manner. It's just much nicer to the agents that, yeah. Yeah, if you want to have like a watch thing, yeah, the next added suggestion is good. I like that. So I can run npm test watch. Yeah, that was cool. So yeah. Why do I need delete turbo? Okay, that I don't even know why. Okay, so this is just about the next added prediction. I wish it like gave me like an explanation of why that was the case. Checked. Oh, I'm getting behind all the edits. Okay, so we saw the tests. Let's see what it's doing with the organization thing. So, okay, so it is doing server-side rendering with prefetch and hydrate client. So that's cool. And then it creates a component. Yeah, this becomes a really common pattern with Next.js. I do hate this pattern though. Not gonna lie. But after I got the hang of it, it's fine. Okay, use suspense query. Okay, let's go back to the. You can see, okay, manual testing and verification. Okay, all right. So that's never gonna stop. Okay, so it ran this already knowing this would run in the background. All right. I wonder, like, if there's a, like, yeah, there's likely something on the. Okay. That's cool. So it means I can go ahead and test localhost, and then it's going to see. I can do like a normal flow. So I'm going to do nahdo at example.com. Going to go to localhost 8025. Yeah, but let me just archive tabs below. I can click here, sign in. Now I'm signed in. Oh, wait, it opened the browser for me. I didn't even... Okay, that's cool. Oh, so that's why this was here. So it did that already. I mean, it's doing a bunch of other stuff, but let me test it while it runs. Pair programming. All right, when I'm logged in, I can go to my organizations and I can list my organizations. Yeah, the more and more I hate this default T3 stack theme. It's just like, it screams vibe coded. But yeah, my org, create, view details. Okay, yeah, it didn't implement the, yeah, okay, another org. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so you're ready for testing. Create a new organization, see organization list for role. Okay, let's see the error handling. Let's add another my org. I don't know if there's any. Okay. What happens if I come here? Okay, I'm gonna try this, inspect. And I'm going to make it not disabled. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this. Okay, let me also inspect this and make this not required. All right, let's create. Yeah, there is error handling. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't add any memory. When I said, okay, say add a memory about the npm test reset instruction. It does have these checkpoints where I can revert to that, but yeah. Okay, great. All right, and that's it. I tested that. I'm a developer. Okay, this is weird as hell. Yeah, having this on the code. doesn't make any sense. But yeah, keep all. I'm gonna go to Git. I'm gonna stage everything. Yeah, we can see the migration was generated. Okay, so I'm gonna do fit task 1, and we're ready for task 2. Okay, so I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna start. I'm gonna close other editors in group. I'm gonna come here to task 1, task 2. Sorry. I'm gonna remove this. Gonna go to the thread. I'm gonna start a new thread. I'm gonna say let's do task 2. And we're gonna just keep rolling. Yeah, I mean, again, I know 90% of the work is the model being really good, but I do think the experience here has been really great. I would say, again, I know I keep saying that, but I think the user experience is one of the most important things. Uh, yeah, so far, this is the best. That is the best extension I tested for VS Code. It is not like a bring your own key kind of like thing, but yeah, it's really good. I like it. It doesn't have a lot of like the cool features like Cursor have. I do need to test like I think Cursor has an extension for VS Code. So I think if I do this, right, I think there's Cursor. Oh yeah, no, Cursor do have a CLI though. I don't seem to have. Yeah. So I still think Cursor was superior, even though, yeah, I was using I think when I tested here in the channel, it was only with Sonnet 4, and I think Sonnet 4.5 is like 30, 40, 50% better. Oh, it's already created a bunch of things. Let's see, there's a schema differences. Okay, sent invitations. Organization has multiple invitations. So it means the invitation is organization and sent by, invited by an organization, and there's the email. Okay, this is cool. So I'm just gonna approve migration. That was cool. Test reset. I see the task that it had here. Yeah, I'm afraid of this. Oh, that's cool. I can start a new task at any moment. I think this will likely stop the current task, right? I guess if it is if I want to change the order of implementation. Should we test it? Yeah, I'm gonna leave it to finish that, and I will try to run this first. But it doesn't seem to have like any multi-agent parallelization. Okay. Oh wait, you already created that. Yeah, the types are wrong, so let me help it. Maybe it will automatically detect, but yeah, I'm gonna help it. Yeah, it did that already. I mean, it didn't verify though, but install. I'm gonna do types. Sorry, I think this is our add, right? npm node mailer. Wait a second, is this being suggested by? Okay, probably just what I'm just gonna do npm add node mailer. They did one shot. Okay. that was a good move, because it used the existing URL, which means it loads from the end exactly like we do for the other for Nexalt. That's cool. Okay, that I thought this would be hard, but this just proved me wrong because I had a lot of issues with that. Yeah, whatever. Let's go. npm test invitation test. Let's see this, by the way, in the meantime. Okay, yeah, so it does mock the invitation send email. Yeah, this mock-up is not necessary. I'm just gonna ask to fix some of the lint issues. But yeah, my feeling so far about Augment Code, Augie is the CLI, is that it's not fancy. You don't have a lot of controls, but they do the basics really well. Yeah, the basics are done really well. I like it. Yeah, especially this review thing here. I think is really useful to have these. Again, I think Cursor does that as well, but again, Cursor does the basics really well. Yeah, so page. So this is the organization thing. It's a server component. Does a prefetch. Then have the organization details here. That is a client thing. Load TS. TS restart test server. So come here. Yeah, so this requires the organization details. It comes from the page. It is awaiting the params, which a lot of the other agents were missing. Again, this might be just because the model is getting smarter or whatever, but it's doing that really well. I do think that the index that they do helps. Like you see here. Yeah, I cannot see what it got, but like it helps on finding things, and yeah, indexing is really important for the agent performance. Cursor does that as well, which is why I think it has a much superior experience compared to some of the others that don't. Yeah, when I compare to like Cloud Code, you can get all of that with Cloud Code. I still think the Cursor was better for like newbies, I guess. I'm gonna say you can check TypeScript errors with the npm type check. Like why you need to run the build, which takes forever. And I understand running build to check, but if you just want to have type errors, you can just do that. I mean, I think this will have problems because we already have it running, right? Oh, I think it closed the terminal before. Okay, view details. I can invite users, so let's invite someone at example.com, send invitations. All right, there's this pending thing. I can go to localhost 3000, sign in, someone at example.com. Go to localhost 8025. Okay, that's cool. So he's already working. That is wild. Wait. I mean, this open in browser just opens in the browser. Not sure if it was actually reading this. Maybe there's a way to add like a extension. Huh. Yeah. Okay. I'll go back here. So the invitation showed up. That's cool. Let me sign in. I can see my invitations here, I guess. Yeah. I want to see what happens if I click on this accept invitation. Okay, show this here. Invited on. Okay, accept invitations. Now I am on this org. I can do this. Oh, I have an issue. Okay, sorry, I'm receiving a bunch of messages. Sorry. I'm gonna run this, but okay, I'm gonna stop it. I'm just gonna okay. There is an issue. I can't see the org details page as a non-admin. See the dev server terminal for more info. Can I add a terminal? Yeah, so this is one thing that this is like, and I like doing that. I mean, I can copy from here and send there, but the other ones I could at least do like an add terminal and it will get the terminal that is focused. But yeah, there's that. Yeah, but at least you can run. If I'm running on this, I'm not sure you can read for all the terminals though. No. Though you can prefetch on invitations. Okay, no, wait. You can prefetch on invitations, but you need to load next out information on the server side before deciding that as well. Yeah, we're getting to the 1 hour point soon. Let me open this file. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, let's make this better by having a okay, let's see if that works. No, it doesn't. Okay, maybe let's try to restart the dev server. Some reason. Okay, I'm gonna run npm dev. I'm gonna try to run it again. See if I can pass that as a. I wonder why it's failing. Yeah, I hate Next.js. It is failing again. There are a bunch of errors. I had to run the dev server again in another terminal. I'm not sure if it's gonna be able to read it. Yeah, you're not doing it. So the issue is not that. The issue Okay, what if instead we change the org gRPC router to return the membership when getting the orgs by ID, or that is, return the membership as the root object, membership with the org message in it. I mean, it is working now, yeah, but it's showing the. I still think we can do better here. I think because this runs on the server side, I think we could just, instead of calling it gRPC, maybe we could just do like queries here directly, like call the database here, and yeah, I wonder if we could do that. Okay, let's see this now. Okay, now this is working. Okay, let's see the edits. Let's see invitation list. I guess it's on the org actually. Edition details. Yeah, we're doing this is admin and then rendering. Okay, let's see the changes to the organization. Okay, just adding the current user role there. I mean, this is such a weird query though. Yeah, I will ask it to improve it. I don't know. Okay. All right, let's stop. Invitation is working, which is good. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep all. I'm going to, just commit. And yeah, just going to commit this. And I'm going to stop for some refactors and to fix the lint issues that we likely have. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to say fit task 2. And we're going to focus on, and we're going to focus now on some refactors before we proceed. All right, so before we proceed, I think we can do some improvements here. One, the queries in the org router get list orgs and get org by ID are really inefficient. They go first through the orgs, then filter by the existence of memberships, only to include and use I mean, is this actually inefficient? Maybe the query plan will be good enough. But that being said, like the list, right? When we're listing orgs, we likely don't need to. Oh, this is actually bad. This role thing, yeah, this is really bad. Your orgs in use. This just got the member 0. This is so bad. Okay, and use. They go first through the orgs and then load filter by members. A much simpler way is to start querying by membership, which leaves us with a membership list already scoped to the current user, and then build the org list or single org response. There's a bug which we should also add a path for that in the org list, because it takes the role from the org.members 0. Yeah, this is really bad. This is like reviewing a junior dev PR, which doesn't necessarily points to the current user. We should instead use the approach described above and take the role from the user, from the membership of the current user. It is also inefficient because it is loading all the memberships only to use the first one. We don't need nested membership loading in this page, in this query. 3, we do have some lint issues which we should fix. Okay. It's relying on the diagnostics. Okay, now it's going to run npm lint approve. The organization file is really bad. Close others. Yeah, I hate that it doesn't do test-driven development, right? Like I saw that it was a bug, but it didn't prove that it was a bug. Yeah, I don't like that. I like TDD. I'm trying to understand what it does here. Why this was removed? Okay. Existing member. I should have reviewed that, but this is like shenanigans. It added a code that it knew it wouldn't work. Oh, that's why. Yeah, I should review the code your AI generates, especially when it looks too good. Okay, yeah. You know what? That's sad, but at least it fixed. I guess all you need to do is ask it to fix its own mistakes, right? Just from time to time, say, hey, check everything you have. But I'm gonna go back to our organization, see the changes to this one here. Yeah, it's much better. So it does find this first, and then it goes to the organization include, and there's some, yeah. It's cool. I like that it doesn't show the, I guess this is the default of VSCode, but yeah, I mean, we never saw that fail, but yeah, which is why I don't like, yeah. So I think this is a problem with these agents. They likely are trained on like PRs and stuff like that, right? Which means they only see the final result. So they don't understand, and especially because people don't do a lot of like, sometimes I mean, I used to do that when I was creating a PR. I would create like one PR with a test. So, and then actually run CI to that. So the test failure would be on the PR, and then create a commit with the fix. This is just like a lot of work. So most people don't do that. I stopped doing that. So what that means is that the AI don't have this process. So it will know that this test run, but it don't know. It's like who tests the test. It is important because the way to test if the test makes sense is if the test failed in the first place. That's why the red, green, blue or like that red-green refactor cycle is really important because it kind of like validates the test itself. Because if you write a test and it passes on the first time, are you even testing it correctly, right? And then you never know. So that's why test-driven development is so important. But I'm not going to fight with that right now. But I mean, it's just going to call it is what it is and call it a day. Okay. Approve. I think I'm gonna enable auto mode, run wild a little bit. Living young and wild and free. So what we go high. So what that's not supposed to be. Living young and wild and free. Keep carrying my pen. No, I don't want to say. Keep living my Okay, when pending memory. I save. Return to agent. Perfect. From now on, also remember to check lint and type errors before marking, before finishing work to make sure we didn't introduce any issues. So let me just see the test files. Will likely, remove the mock out. This goes. Guess we're gonna have that in all these tests. Okay, that's good. Invitation tests, organization tests, and post tests as well. We should have stopped to remove the post thing. I never did. Okay, this likely will create a new memory. And will it create memory? It ran it again. Yeah, it didn't. How can I manage memories? Can I manage memories context? Add a memory about that. We can also ES npm check run both lint and check. I think it is right. Package JSON check. Okay, keep all. Yeah, vibe coding. I'm gonna just call this fix lint and other issues. I know a bad commit message, but yeah, I only leave it once. Let me also. Okay, so let's go to task 3. Let's do task 3 now. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna enable auto mode. And while it does that, I wanna check the currently billing state. Like see how many credits we used. So yeah, so I checked my status here and we used 7,000 credits. So that's about 1 hour of coding, which means, again, if you extrapolate that to, let's do 4 hours of actual coding per day. So that's going to be 4 times. I'm going to, do an average, like this is monthly. So I'm going to do 4 weeks. Not the best, but yeah. So that's times 5 times 4 times 7. So that's tough. Yeah, that'll be 60,000 credits. Augment Code pricing. Yeah. So you like, yeah, maybe if we use Haiku, we would be, getting better. But that being said, in most real case scenarios, you would likely be wasting more time reviewing the code the AI is generating, and then more like pair programming kind of vibes instead of like just straight doing everything. So yeah, okay. Back to the agent. Let's see how it's doing. Let's see the schema. Let's make this smaller. Hide that. Okay, so added the expense categories and expense categories. Yeah, it's just this thing here. Expense category, the routers. Let's do fold all, restart TS server. Okay, so create. Yeah, I wish so. Yeah, this is not being as smart as I wish. But yeah, this is good enough. All right. So yeah, create mutation. Get the category. Okay, so this is the. I think we could do a refactor. Like at this point, a dev would already be, hey, we're doing that in all the things. We should likely extract it. And this is one of my fears with like these agents, like because they don't do that. Like, oh yeah, you're not wasting too much time. They're replicating everything, but at the same time, you're paying per tokens, right? So it is getting more expensive if you don't extract this thing. Like same for the test, right? I'm doing this all the time. I'm like, hey, maybe we should create like a factory. But yeah, let's go back to the thread. I think I'm gonna just rush through all the things to see the end result. Yeah, let's go localhost 2000 organizations. Let's go to this my org here. Why I can't see that? Why this was deferred for future task? Like why you made that decision? You got lazy, right? Like the AI, like not doing that. Someone else will do. Not my this big developer, right? Like you're just like, yeah, I'm not. I hate front end. Let the front end devs do that. I'm just a back end developer. Yeah, why? I love it. Like how it was so fast. And not complete. Like imagine your manager comes to say, "Hey, I need you to do that," and then you say, "Hey, I've done that," and then it's go, "Yeah, where are you? Where is the UI? Oh, I decided not to do. Someone else will do." you're fired the next day. I mean, not that hard, but yeah. Like, this is so weird. Why defer? Do it now. Just do it. Strong emoji meme. Okay, I'm just vibing. Yeah, that was like, they are really mimicking how developers work. I could totally see like a guy that, I mean, I can see myself, mostly front, like back end engineer. Like, hey, I don't do interfaces, all right? I just do the back. I do the hard stuff, leave the easy stuff for front end developers, not knowing that front end development is probably like 10 times harder than back end. Yeah. I don't understand why people keep saying that front end development is like, it's so undervalued, but front end development is really, really hard. I mean, because it's a freaking mess, right? And there's like a lot of variables, state, different types of clients. It's just like, yeah, I guess it's because it's the first thing that people learn when they're like in a course, like in a boot camp or whatever. And then people automatically assume like front end is like, new things, the real developer, they do system architectures and whatever. But honestly, front end is one of the hardest things. Yeah. Okay, sorry. This is becoming kind of like myself talking weird stuff while we vibe code. Yeah, I guess that's what you get when you're doing these things after works, 11 p.m. I'm getting exhausted of this. I just want it to be over, to be honest with you all. So if you're listening and you think, like, if you're listening in the middle of my podcast, leave a comment, say, hey, it's going to be done soon, man. Keep it going, just a few more tools. Yeah, but I think the decision of moving the NeoVim specific things to another video, and also like Jetbrains, like all the other details to future videos, it's gonna save me some time. Yeah, which I think I will do like in a different manner, especially with like ACP coming up. Augment Code. Sorry, yeah, Avante and Code Companion supporting ACP. It means that you can use any CLI as your NeoVim stuff. So I don't think people will keep supporting Code Companion or Avante native chats. I don't think people will spend that time, especially on open source thing. Okay, let's see if now I can see that. Let's go org details here. Let me just close things, close tabs below. Oh, now I have an issue. Okay, I think I have to restart. Yeah, because it changed the. Yeah, I saw that problem before. Yeah. Okay. All right. Manage categories, and I guess a user can see the expense categories. Okay. So a new category, travel. I'm gonna say flights, taxis, Uber, trains, etc. Create category. All right. Refresh it here. Bananas. And nano bananas. That's what she said. Nano bananas. Okay, I can add it. I can delete. All right. Office supplies. Great without. Yeah, that's all good. And I can see it here. That's great. We're done with task 3. I mean, I'm just going to trust the thing. Let me validate some of the stuff myself. So I'm going to do npm check, npm test. Okay, that's great. I'm gonna keep all again. I'm now getting more into the YOLO mode just to see how far the agent can go. And see the mistakes, mostly on a perspective of someone that doesn't code, checking the end result. But yeah, I will now that I have it that way. I'm gonna say feet. That's 3, and I'm gonna stop to do another refactor. Yeah, I hope that this one will be fast. So let's say we are repeating the queries to check membership role too often. Extract a helper function that takes the TRPC context, a and an org ID, and returns the membership, and another helper function that does that, but also validate the role. Membership org role, validate the role, also to standardized. Yeah, one thing that I like is that maybe actually I'm not going to do that. Like, it is some repeated code, but now that I think about it, right? Okay, actually I just want to do this query is used too often, and makes sense to do that. Yeah, this context engine, I think this is a cool thing. Like, it's closed source, but like I wish this was more like clear. Like, if there was some transparency on what this was reading and returning, I think it would make it even like cooler. What the hell is T include? Okay, sorry. This is the okay. This T include is crazy. Don't do that. Okay. Okay. Oh, actually, this is cool. That's why it's using an extend. Sorry. Sorry. Okay, this is cool. Let's see the other edits. Yeah, getting the typing right would be crazy. Keep it simple. Don't need to generalize. Include since the goal here is to return just one org, there is no performance benefit of using include over another query, because these don't optimize for n+1 issues. There is no n+1 issue when you loading just one and equals 0. Yeah, I think you can return the org. Okay, wait. You can return the org in the helper because you likely will need it. Of course, not loading it would be more efficient, but this is just a really common thing that we will need. It will in some cases, so just load it by default. Honestly, I don't know if that was a good idea. Yeah, actually I think it was a bad idea, because the places that will use it likely don't need the this is so bad. Okay, this code is really bad. Yeah, honestly, what I would do is that I would always include our org ID here. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I think I will revert that thing, but I'll do it myself, not waste too much tokens. Okay, all right, this is Augment running. Okay, gonna keep this, and I will, yeah, close others, and I go to the RPC, and I will remove the include org here. Because we're likely not even going to need that, right? We don't need, yeah, I'm going to remove this from here. And this likely means that if I run pnpm test, we're going to have some failures, because actually even pnpm type check yeah, npm type check, likely gonna point me to the place where this is a problem. Yes. Is this thing here? Yes. So what I need to do here, I need to do const organization be okay. Okay, so tab require organization membership, include ID, role, email true, and I want okay, actually include yes, that's what I want. And I guess I can just do dash org and membership.role, and I can remove this npm type check. Yeah, okay. So if not org, yeah. I mean, honestly, I could just do like assert org here and use like node assert, because this should never happen. The membership exists, org must exist as well. And this will narrow the type. And yeah, okay, that's great. And npm test should pass everything. Yeah, this is better. Okay. Yeah, that makes this a little bit simpler. I'm gonna come here, add everything. I'm gonna say refactor or membership check helper functions. I just call membership check helper functions. Commit, and we're ready for task 4. Right, so for task 4, I'm gonna stop here, close others, and I'm gonna come here, and let's go for another thing. Let's do task 4. Yeah, I think honestly now that I think about all this process, I do think that I could have made this whole series at like I could have taken off 30 minutes, maybe even 1 hour out of these experiences for each of the tools. I think 2 hours. I thought that 2 hours would be like a good thing to get like a feel for how the tool is. But yeah, more and more I do. I think like after the first hour, you already have a good idea of how nice it is to use the tool. You don't know how good, like the other thing, like how good the system prompts are, how well it fixes mistakes and whatnot. But yeah. Yeah, now honestly, I'm gonna have to review my Copilot video and maybe just give Copilot another run, because I feel like the way it dealt with like diagnostics was a little bit better. I think also Crush, the CLI, did a little bit better. I feel like anytime there was an update to the diagnostics, it seemed that it was sent to the model automatically, which means probably it uses a little bit more context and tokens. So your context window gets a little bit more polluted. But I have the feeling that it that it was faster to pick up its own mistakes. So Cursor was a little bit better at that, and if I recall correctly, Copilot also was a little bit better on that. So let's take a look at the schema, policies, and the policies that have a policy period, daily, weekly, monthly. Policy period, they have one thing that is not clear is what it's going to use for, it's going to use the created at, or it's going to so this is a more of product thing, but ideally I should be able to send I should be able to send stuff in the past. So for example, imagine it's like 31st of whatever month. I'm not going to say it because I don't know which months has 31st without having to think, but yeah, a study of a given month. And then that's Friday, and I only submit on Monday, which is already next month. I should be able to send a little bit back in the past. So here I only have the created at, which it should likely have like a date, like a reference date, like an expense date. So I could send it back. You might want to not automatically approve things if it's sent way in the past. You shouldn't be able to send stuff in the future. Because it should, yeah. We'll start test server for it all. Yeah, okay. Okay, they created the simulation thing, which I think is cool. Okay, that was nice. I mean, this is kind of lame because it's gonna load the membership again, but yeah, whatever. We can optimize it later. All right, that's cool. Yeah, I like this. This is cool. Yeah, I want to see like the list policies. Okay, only the I wonder if this should even be allowed. Yeah, I guess this is important for like when you're submitting expense. Yeah, let's glance over the test and do overall. Why things are badly formatted though? I think. Interesting. Format is a little bit off. Is that our first? Oh, it is updating now. Okay, nice. Overall. Okay, great. Should allow admin to create organization-wide policy. Should allow admin to create user-specific policy. Should reject non-admin from creating policy. Should reject policy creation for non-existing category. Should reject policy creation for a user not in organization. That's an interesting thing. Now that I think about likely the org specific, the membership specific. should have a foreign key to the membership, so that when you remove a user from your org, it goes away with it. But yeah, that's just a thought. Okay, so far so good. Update, non-admin, admin, non-admin. Okay, admin, non-admin. Okay, this is cool. Let's see what is calling. Yeah. npm that server is already running. It will figure it out. I just started a new. Yeah, this UI is getting really bad, but yeah. But let's test manually. Manage policy, new policy, office supplies. Okay, travel. Yeah, this should. Yeah, this is really bad. How can I get the? Yeah, this is not great. And there's an issue. Category list. And this thing is really hard to notice. I wish I could have like a better error. Okay, so it's hard to know where it failed. It's a really bad experience. And maybe if I look at the console, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, okay, I know what the problem is. Likely that the expense. Yeah, we're preloading. So if we go to here, we're likely preloading, prefetching maybe something here. Yes. So the policies. Policy is admin is being passed here, and we're using suspense query for listing the policies. Huh. Yeah, this is bad. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to move these. Gonna remove these here. Move these here. Gonna come here and gonna do the is admin. Yeah, is admin. Oh, yeah, tab. Okay, I can do this. Okay, nice. Yeah, the experience of the next edit prediction. I like the tab experience. Yeah, but I think now we'll have. We're still having issues. I'm gonna ask some help to debug. Yeah, we're getting this. We are getting an exception when loading the initial page, which is hard to debug. Help me understand what's going on. Yeah, the policy.list is returning unauthorized, but why it's calling policy.list in the server side? Oh, the server, yeah, okay. Look at the other terminal running the server, not this one. Yeah, how is solved for the admin? Sorry, for the invitation list. Wait, if that is the issue, why invitation list was working? I thought this admin filter was enough. That's just nonsense. response. Should we instead use React query conditional query? Dependent queries? That's this gRPC. I use enabled is admin together with use query instead. That would just not run the query in case the user is not admin. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, honestly, I hate this whole server-side rendering thing, especially for like these dashboards. They bring almost no value, honestly. It's cool that when you reload the page, everything's there, but most people would be using, unless you are actually, I don't know, man. I have some weird feelings about it. Okay. Of course, like this would make it easier. Like if you split into an actual good page structure, it's a much better experience. The problem here, I should split this into multiple pages. I will do that in another moment. Okay, perfect. It's not great, but it is what it is. Keep all. Let's try the manage policy now. Okay, actually, the current user selection when creating a policy. The policy is really bad because we need to know the user ID and there's no clear way to get the user ID from the UI. We should have a select. We can just load all the numbers there. Add an option for org-wide in that drop-down. I have this feeling that it's getting the AI is getting slower as I use it. Maybe it's because I'm on a free plan or whatever. I don't know. But in the beginning, I think it was really fast, and now it looks a little bit slower. Let's see if that's better. New policy. Okay. I'm still not using it. Huh. So bad. I mean, it probably would be better if you had like a hard-coded string, like a guard string. Yeah, see, like this is a thing that I would fix actually much faster than Okay, let me just do, instead of using as the value for org wide, create a more explicit guard value like org wide, and have a constant on the constant where we can do something like user ID equal org wide guard, whatever. If that's the case, then we do, otherwise we do user ID. You need to add the type to be string. Okay, yeah, you did it. All right. All right. Yeah, that's much better. All right, new policy. Great. Yeah. Okay, office supplies. User specific new policy. Let's create an organization wide for office supplies. Let's say it's 100. That's monthly. Let's create a weekly travel policy. 150 for that user. Let's create a org wide, 1,000 monthly, and require manual review. Okay, yeah, this is working. Great. So this task is done. And yeah, I don't think we're gonna have time for other tasks though. Like we can try, but I doubt. So I think, yeah, I'm gonna have like 5 more minutes. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just keep all and we say fit task 4. Okay, wait a second. What is the unsaved thing here? Okay, that's it. Alright, sync changes. I added a space. So let me just do npm check. Alright, we're good. And yeah, maybe we should give the task 5 a go, see how far it goes in those minutes. Yeah, let's see. So let's open task 005, close others, and I'm going to, yeah, honestly, like if I had more time, what I would do here, I would stop and do a UI redesign at this moment, like put things into different pages, work on an app shell, all these kind of things. But yeah, actually, honestly, if I think on the like if I think I should do that. I think I should build a product, like a real product, instead of like go through the process of creating a product, using AI, not just vibe coding, like actually, testing things, selecting the good stuff, making decisions, thinking about the product, Maybe I should do something like a series where I will create a company uh, with you folks, like just public, like just building in public to the extreme. I think that would be cool because I would likely either use an existing UI kit or I would use something like the Shetcn MCP. Yeah, like spend some time, preparing like the app shell. Uh, Also, now that I use that, I don't like TRPC that much. I would likely use ORPC. I would probably also set up a more kind of domain-driven design approach where I have my domain things separate from the TRPC ORPC routes. So I think I would do some stuff different. Maybe I should also have like a kickstart, like a template that people can use to build their own apps, like a boilerplate. But yeah, I digress. I'm gonna send it to the task number 5. New agent. Let's do task 5. Yeah, we only have 10 more minutes. Let's see how fast that goes. I just need to answer a message here on my phone. 1 second. Hmm. Huh. I just hallucinated a tool call. It didn't even exist. Wait, I'm confused. Where does it even came from? Huh. I mean, how come an expense? Maybe expense should always have a policy. But yeah, yeah. You know what? I'm gonna pause. I'm gonna get some water because yeah, I need some water. Be right back. All right, I'm back. Let's see how it's going. Yeah, while it goes, let's also check how uh, the credit usage is going so far. Yeah, so you can see we used 15,000. Yeah, so that's about the same rate. Before we were at about 7,000 credits. I did a bit more, but we used first, like we did some tests and questions. So like when testing out things and setting up the project. So yeah, it is yeah, it is a lot of credits. But yeah, so I don't think it's a really cheap. Okay, sorry, my recorder just crashed. But yeah, so it used a lot of credits, and I yeah, this worries me, especially with the pricing. Yeah, let's see how the tests are done. So let's just test it. So we did it in about 10 minutes. Let's test the expense submission then. First, let me restart the server because I know this. Yeah, this is already failing. Let's come here. Reload this. So I can submit expense. Let's submit an expense for. So I have. Let's see. Oh, so what is this date? Okay. So all members travel. Okay, so let's test. So for office supplies, technically everybody has 100. So I'm going to put 90 office supplies. Let's submit for this month. Paper, whatever, submit. So this was approved automatically. If I send another 40, that's like clips, papers and paper clips. Yeah. So it is picking up the organization-wide instead of the user-specific. Oh, because the user-specific, yeah, that's for me. But yeah, let me try another thing then. Let's see at least the date. Submit for previous thing. I'm going to say office supplies. I'm going to do 100. And I'm going to call, I don't know, chair. Yeah, so that is approved automatically. But if I try to spend anything for that month, yeah, again, likely it needs some improvements here. Dollar. Yeah, okay. Okay, I can reload and I can see this admin view. I can see all the ones. Yeah, it is a prototype. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it. Commit fit test 5. Is it 5? I think it is. Okay, I'm gonna stage everything. All right. So yeah, so that's it. It used about 15,000 credits in 2 hours of a session. And the plan that costs $20 gives you 40,000. So that's about 17. So if we have, so the price per credit, so that's going to be 20 divided by 40. So if we spend 15, so that's about 7.5 per hour. So we spend about $15. No, that doesn't seem right. Wait a second. We spent 15 on 2 hours. So yeah, so that's 20 divided by 40 times, we use 7.5, right? Yeah, so about about 4 credits. Sorry, $4 per hour. Yeah, I think take from that whatever you want to take. All right, so closing thoughts about Augment Code. First, the UI had all the basics pretty good. It didn't have a lot of like customizations, like system prompts or whatever. That seems to I didn't explore any like crazy user feature thing. You can create like custom commands and whatnot. But it was a really streamlined experience. They did the basics really well. Reviewing the code changes that the AI do was really good. There was no fine-grained control on what commands to approve or not. It was just like the YOLO mode and like the accept the auto and non-auto modes. Which is the main difference of things running commands. No MCP, like local MCP server options. I think, I was saying in the beginning like how I've been thinking recently that local MCPs are not that important. Like local, I mean like per project MCPs, but there are some exceptions. For example, like in Elixir or even for Ruby, you have like Tidewave, where it runs your server, and then the AI can connect to that thing via MCP, and can execute code in that running instance, can introspect requests with more information about stuff, which I think is better than looking at the logs. So yeah, so I do believe that there is value on per project MCPs. Now that I think about it more, and again, not having, I do think it is a problem. Uh, the experience was fine. I mean, the model was a little bit not too critical about things, but I do, again, a lot of this stuff can be like random. Some day the model is good, the other day it's not that good. It is using the same model behind. Maybe the system problems were not that good, but I think it can be just luck. I think if you spend some time with your rules and whatnot, like, hey, do this, follow these guidelines, whatever, I think that's how you reduce the randomness of using it. So this particular experience, it did some, newbie mistakes. It does have access to diagnostics, but it didn't seem to be as automatic as some other tools, right? So it will go for a long time without knowing the things that were bad. But that was fine. The memories thing, like cursor, so they seem to be trying to copy the cursor playbook, but focus more. Yeah, but like it is an extension instead of like a full IDE, has its own advantages. The CLI seemed really good. I didn't use it, but honestly, it seemed pretty solid, like compared to other extensions that eventually became CLIs as well. For example, the Kodo, like the Kodo Gen thing, didn't even seem good enough to use. Kodo command, sorry. That was not the other open source one. Was it? I forgot which one was it. Was it Klein? Was it? I forgot which one. I tried the CLI and it was just really bad, or continue. I don't remember. So yeah, the CLI seemed really good. Seemed like usable. That was the good points. Yeah, another good point was the context engine, the indexing of the server. It was not clear to me whether that thing was being indexed locally or on their server. I do think it was indexed on their server because when you go to the account page, there is a delete indexed thing. So I'm assuming it is indexed on the cloud. Yeah, take from that whatever you want. Yeah, they do have the background agent kind of thing. I couldn't seem to have it working. Maybe it is because I'm on a free trial. I don't know. There's something buggy there, but yeah, all these things are quite new, so it is what it is. But yeah, the experience overall is solid. I think the main thing that worries me is the cost and the usage. I still think you can't beat Cloud Code, even with the timeouts. I've been reading that some people are getting worse timeouts, like weekly timeouts. I'm not, and I'm on a $20 plan. So yeah, the usage does worries me a little bit. Like I spent about $7-8 of worth of credits in 2 hours. So that's a little bit like worrying. So yeah, I think overall was a good experience. But I was going to say that I would recommend, but now that I think about, maybe you should go to GitHub Copilot. I think GitHub Copilot would be like 80% of the value for much cheaper, or just go with like GLM coding plan and then using root code or whatever. I mean, that would be my suggestion. I think the GLM coding plan is unbeatable in terms of pricing. And then if you want Claude, just use Claude Code. Just pay for Claude plan. So that would be my take now. But it was a cool experience. I think it was worth it. And again, I think with all these things, you need to test them. It's just hard that there's a lot of things to test. So this would be, for me, would be on the list that it's all right to test. Like a A tier. Like, no, yeah. If you want, give it a try. But yeah, so that's it for me now. Again, if you're not subscribed, remember to subscribe. If you like this video, leave a like. If you don't like, leave a dislike. And yeah, please comment if you have any idea, if you want to suggest me to review something. I already have 2 things that people ask me to review. I will review them. That's going to be Try, Tray, and Kimi CLI coming soon. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.